Well, hello everyone. Sorry about how I ended on the last episode, but I'm gonna continue from there. We're gonna talk about exactly what I talked about in the last episode about the need to hide your hide your qualities, hide the valuable things in your life from others. It's not just money. I'm not talking about just money. Money isn't the only thing that's valuable. Sometimes your talents, if you're a very talented person, that's enough for someone to be greedy. You know, someone could, try to rob you. Someone could try to steal you. Someone could try to kidnap you. Someone could try to turn you into a slave just because they think you're valuable. Just because you show a quality, a certain quality within you that others don't have, that's enough for someone to try to kidnap you. That's enough for someone to try to force you to do what they want you to do for the rest of their lives. There's so many beautiful women out there, you know, that keep showing up their beauty in front of women that are uglier than them, and this incites so much hatred within them that you never know what happens. Some of these women, some of these you know not as beautiful women could take things so they can be so jealous of you that they could try to harm you in the future just from that alone, just for having a better quality, having a greater quality, than them in any way is enough for people to try to kill you for it. It's enough for your family members who may not be as attractive as you are to try to harm you for it. So if you keep showing off, if you keep showing off good qualities, the good qualities in you in front of others, you think it makes people like you more, but you're doing the opposite of what you think, what you're doing. It makes people who never cared about, that quality within you. If you weren't showing it off, they may not have paid attention to it. But now that you're showing it off, now they're paying attention to it. Now they realize you have something that they don't have. And guess what? That incites jealousy. That incites hatred within them. Because they can't, no matter how hard they try, they'll never be able to have what you have. And that's even worse than having money. You know why? Because money, they can rob you or they can work hard to get it. But things like beauty and talent, these are things that they don't have. Like Mozart and that. There's a story when I was growing up about Mozart and someone else. There's like he had a rival composer, right, who hated his guts to death. I think the rival composer ended up trying to kill him, right? I think that's what led to Mozart's death. But there's so many examples of people trying to kill you just for being more talented than they are, just for having a certain quality that they don't have. So, if you're someone who has great qualities, showing it off in front of people who don't have that quality will not give you what you want. It will give you, it will get you bullied by them. Instead of them appreciating your talent, instead of them appreciating that quality within you, if they don't have the same quality as you do, guess what? They'll start wondering, why don't I have that quality? Why is God so unfair to me? Why do you have to why do you have special privileges that I don't have? Why is this so why is the world so unfair to me? How do I stop you from having that quality that I don't have? We need to make things equal. That's the mindset. The mindset is everything has to be equal, and it is unfair for you to have such qualities that I don't have. You understand? So if you keep showing off your qualities within, the qualities that you have in front of others that don't have that quality, and there's no way for them to have it, guess what? They'd rather have you not have that quality, than have you have it. Meaning, if they can't have it, nobody should. That's the mindset of that. That's the mindset that grows in people who, whenever they try to have something, you know, that you have, but they realize they can't have it, or they it's a quality that they automatically know that they can't have, like beauty. They end up having the mindset from due to their own hatred of how unfair life is. They end up growing that mindset of, if I can't have it, you shouldn't have it either. If I can't have it, you shouldn't have it. So if you're someone who loves showing off, in front of others, just know that sooner or later they'll sooner or later end up with that mindset. If they're not someone who already loves you, if they're not someone who likes you a lot, but they're someone who just have like a neutral aspect, a neutral feeling towards you, guess what? they instead of thinking, hey, I like this person for this having this quality trait, instead they'll start thinking, if I don't have that trait, you shouldn't have it either. If I don't have that money, you shouldn't have it either. If I'm not as beautiful, if I don't have that beauty that you have, you shouldn't have it either. If I'm not as tall as you are, you shouldn't be tall either. You see? So you have to be careful around people like that. You have to be careful around people around you because you don't know what's going on in their mind. You're thinking they're jealous. You're thinking that they're happy for you, but you don't know how many people have been killed throughout their lives just from jealousy alone. The entire world is fueled by so much hatred and violence simply from jealousy alone. So if you keep thinking if you keep showing your good qualities in front of others, guess what's going to happen to you? Your peers, the people around you, are going to get jealous of you. There's so many wives getting murdered by their husbands simply because the wife keeps showing qualities that the husband wants but can't have. There's so many people that have loving families, and that alone is enough. If you grow up in a loving family and you marry someone that doesn't have that within them, or around them, that's enough for them to be jealous of you. If you keep showing that off, how great my family members are, guess what? There'll be someone right there with your friend or family who doesn't have that, who didn't grow up with that. That will be so jealous of you that they'll try to kill you for it. Because if they don't have it, you shouldn't have it either. There's so many examples throughout history. There's so many examples right now of people killing people just from jealousy alone. So you really have to be careful. If in the future, someone asks you about things about you that they'll be jealous of, it's best to just keep quiet or downplay it. Do not make yourself a target in this world that's filled with so much violence and hatred. This world has there's so much murders going on around the world. You think the only crimes that are happening are the ones you hear on the news, the ones you hear on the CNN, NBC, or all these major news outlets. But like I said before, the world is filled with crimes. There's so many people backstabbing each other on a daily basis. Family members backstabbing each other, friends backstabbing each other, people killing each other, and most of them are people that know each other. Like I said before, the statistics show that the majority of crimes happen around people who know each other. It's because they know each other. Rarely would you ever have a crime done against you that's done by someone you don't know. It's you're more likely to have someone harm you than someone you don't know. Meaning the person you're most afraid of isn't someone out there, but someone around you. These are the people that will be jealous of you. These are the people that know every detail about you. It's more likely for them to commit a crime against you because it's easier for them to get away with it than a random stranger. And it's also harder for you to piss off a random stranger that knows nothing about you than it is for you to piss off someone that knows you. You know what? Most random strangers, you see them at the mall. It's so hard for you to for random strangers to harm you. Why? Because most random strangers have no idea. If there's no motive, why would they harm you? Think about it. If there's no motive, there's no reason for them to harm you. So that's why you go through the mall most of the time. You go through your day most of the time, and you rarely ever get into confrontations with random strangers because you rarely ever there's rarely ever a need for them to harm you. There's rarely ever a need for you to harm them. So what do you think is more likely? A random stranger coming to your doorstep to kill you because you stole their girlfriend, or a random stranger coming to your girlfriend to kill you because you mocked them, or your friend coming to kill you because you mocked them? Your friend coming to kill you because you have a beautiful wife and they want your wife. What do you think is more likely? Naturally, it's obviously your friend, driven by jealousy, feels like you have something that they want. You always show them something that they want around them, and they're tired of it. They can't have it, and if they can't have it, you shouldn't have it either. That's their mindset. If they can't have it, you shouldn't have it either. So you have to be careful of what you show around people. I'm not telling you to hide yourself in a cage away from your friends and family. I'm just telling you to be more cautious of what you share, even to your friends and family. Your wife wouldn't have killed you if you didn't know you had so much money on you. Your wife wouldn't have killed you if you didn't know. If she killed you, all the money that you have would become hers. You see, your wife wouldn't have killed you if she didn't know all the money that you had. If the moment she killed you, it will become hers. There was a talking about wife killing their husbands or husbands killing their wives. It's usually about money. It's usually about money, and many of them, you don't know how many husbands have died without you realizing it was murder, because it's easier for a family member to get away with these premeditated crimes than it is for a random stranger, because family members and people around you, friends and family members, they know your daily, behavior. They know where you'll be, on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. They even know where the people around you will be doing, at certain times of the day. So it makes them easy. It makes it easier for them to plot your death than it is for random strangers to plot your death. That's a problem with secrecy. The reason why random strangers can't rarely ever get away with killing people while family members do it all the time is because family members know everything about you. If they didn't know everything about you, it'd be harder for them to get away with murdering you, wouldn't it? But because they know everything about you, because your friends and family members know everything about you, it's easier for them to scheme against you and find out exactly when you're doing certain things, when you'll be at home, when you'll be in the mall, because you tell them all the time, you tell them everything about you. You know, they know where your house is, they know where your garage is, they know when people will be at home, when they're at home or when they're not at home, the people that live around you or the people that live with you. They know all these things about you, so it's easier for them to plot your death and get away with it than anybody else. But speaking about death, I don't know if I talked about it in the last episode. I can't remember. But I remember a story where I remember reading a story where the wife killed her husband, right? And the strangest part is the husband. I don't. Maybe if I did, then I'm just talking. I'm just stating it over again. If I did, then I'm just stating it over again. So if you've already heard it, just know that. But I don't remember saying it. But so I'll say it right now. The story is a wife killed her husband, right? The husband was showing off his wealth. Is the type of it's the type of millionaire, the type of rich person that loved showing off his wealth to everybody around him. He always showed it off to everyone. He made sure everybody knew he was wealthy as heck. He made sure everybody knew he was the most wealthy person around. And guess what? His wife married him, right? And then after like a week or so after the marriage, or maybe it was a year or so, maybe. I think within a year, she killed him. She did it. He did it, that girl, for years. And he was so proud of that woman, man. That woman cooked, clean. Oh man, you could just tell, his family member could just tell how much he loved that woman. That woman did everything for him, man. That woman was one of the best women in the world. But guess what? After she died, the husband died, and the woman said, he committed suicide, right? That's what the woman told him. Told the police. She told the police and the investigators that the husband committed suicide, and the police believed her. The police believed her. But during the investigation, they ended up finding out that the wife, actually plotted the husband's death years before she married her. He married her. The wife actually had a boyfriend who conspired to kill him years before the man got married to this wife, to this woman. Because of all the money that he keeps showing off in front of him, because all the money keeps showing off before the lady, she just kept showing off so much money that the wife, right from the moment she met him, already had the plan to kill him right from that moment. So all the good things that the wife kept showing him, all the good qualities that the wife kept showing him, behind all that good, behind all those things, the wife already had a plan to kill him all along, For years, the wife already had the plan. She and her boyfriend plotted behind his back to murder him from the very first day they met. From the very first day they met years ago, the wife already had had an expiration date for the husband. That after they married, the investigators discovered this through text. That after they married, after tricking the man into marriage, they will kill him immediately, and then the wife will inherit all his wealth. And that's what you have to deal with as a rich person. If you keep showing off your wealth around your friends and family members, you may draw to you people. You think you draw to you people who will like you. No, the people who you will draw to your doorstep will be greedy thieves. Greedy thieves will be the one who are more likely to be attracted to you because of money alone. Only greedy people will ever be attracted to you is just based off money alone. If you keep showing off your money in front of people, the only people who will be attracted to you will be the greedy ones, and the greedy ones will do anything for money. The greedy ones will do anything to acquire your wealth. And if they can't have your wealth through marriage alone, if they can't have your wealth just being kind to you, guess what? They'll try to have your wealth through murder. They'll try to manipulate you out of your wealth. If they can get your wealth through manipulation alone, then they won't kill you. They'll try to steal from you through the government. They'll try to have as many kids from you as possible and then divorce you. And then you have to pay child support for the rest of your life. And those are the kind of ones. The kind of ones are the ones going through the court system to try to steal from you. The kind of ones are the ones trying to stay with you for 30 years or 10 years, that way they can have alimony and child support for the rest of their lives. These are the kind of greedy ones. The ones you should be afraid of are the ones that will kill you for your money. The ones that will plot your death years before they meet you. These are the ones that you should be afraid of the most, because these are the ones that will come to your life knowing full well they've already planned your death. Before they came to your life, they already plotted your death. Now they're just going through the motions. The wife or the boyfriend that you're dating, it's not just women. There are a lot of women out there, rich women out there, who keep showing off their wealth in front of men, poorer men. Even if the man isn't poorer than you, as long as you have something that they want, their greed and loan is enough for them to come to your doorstep, pretending to like you. They will pretend to like you for years, knowing full well that in the future, the moment you marry them, they're already plotting your death. The moment you marry them, they've already had your death plan before you marry them. They're just waiting for the day you marry them. They're just waiting for the day you give them access to your bank account. The moment they have access to your bank account as your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or as your wife or your husband, or as your baby father or your baby father or baby mother. The moment they have access to your bank account as any of these titles, they can kill you and start spending your money. As the father of your child, it's only natural. The government and your family member will think it's only natural that they're spending your money to take care of your children. After your death, it is only natural for the father of your child to spend your money to take care of your child. After your death, it's only natural for the mother of your child to spend your money to take care of your child. So if you keep showing off your wealth in front of these strangers or in front of your friends, thinking they'll be nice to you, because you have a lot of money. You have a lot of money now, so they'll be nicer to you because they have a lot of money. Yeah, they're nicer to you because they already have a plot to steal your money from you. They're nicer to you because they already in their mind, behind their mind, at the back of their mind, they think all the money they can make from you. They're so deluded by wealth that they'll do anything to take what you have, because if you have it, they want it, and if they can't have it, you can't have it either. That will end up becoming the mindset that they have. If they come to your life and they realize you're a Scrooge that don't give them any money, guess what? They end up having the mindset of, if they can't have it, you shouldn't have it either. And you may think only poor people are the one that have that mindset, but you're wrong. Like I said before, anybody can have that mindset. As long as you show your wealth in front of anyone, whether they're rich or poor, they can still come and rob you. A billionaire will still be happy with $5,000. If they're $5,000 richer, that's $5,000 that they didn't have before. If they can rob you from that of that $5,000, now they're $5,000 richer. Now they're $10,000 richer. Who doesn't want to be $10,000 richer? Think about it. Who doesn't want to have $10,000 they can spend and do whatever they want with? An extra free $10,000. All they have to do is rob you of it. That's all they have to do. And some people are so easy to rob. They don't have to do that much work. They can just come to your house and pretend they have this problem or they have that problem, and you give them $5,000. They know you have a lot of money. They don't want to spend their money. Why should they spend their money when they can spend yours? You have to think about it from that point of view. Why should they spend their money? Why should a rich person spend their money when they can spend yours? You think about it? Think about it deeply. Why should they spend your money when they can spend, why should they spend their own money when they can spend yours? If they spend their money, they become poorer. If a billionaire spends $1 billion, he's now $1 billion poorer. If someone who has $6 billion spends $1 billion, now we only have $5 billion left. Now he's $5 billion. Now he's $1 billion poorer. Now he only has $5 billion in his bank account. Don't you think that's a problem? The money that billionaires spend makes them poorer. So in order for them not to be poorer, guess what? They would rather spend your money than spend theirs. They would rather spend your money than spend theirs. If they spend your money, if you have $5 million in your bank account and you've been showing off $5 million in front of a billionaire, do you think they'll think, hey, I have $1 billion and you only have $5 million? Why should I take your money? You're wrong. That's not the mindset of a greedy person. They think the opposite. You have a whole $5 million. If I spend $5 million for my own money, now I'll be $5 million poorer. But if I spend your $5 million, I'll still be as rich as I was before. You understand? They'll still be as rich as they were before if they spend your money. So why should they spend their money when they can spend yours? So if a billionaire plots your death and steals from you, what do you expect? What do you expect will happen? Do you think now because they have $5 billion, they won't, they'll spend it? They won't be incited to steal from you because they have $5 billion and you only have $5 million. You only have $5 million. That's nothing. You're wrong. $5 million in the eyes of a billionaire is still $5 whole million. That's still a lot of money. A lot of money that they don't want to spend from their own bank account. If they can hire a few thugs for like $2,000 and then promise them 10% of $5 million, that's a lot of money for them. 5% of $5 million it's not a small amount. But that's it for this episode. I have someone come over, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.